Hello once again. Welcome back to Game of Thrones Part 3, where we're going to be exposing the second group in Hell's Alliance. This group is going to be the Reptilians, the lower Reptilians, the Dracos. Now we know, as with the human population, not all humans are good. And it's also this going to be the same with the Reptilian kingdom. Not all are good, and most, I would say, are malevolent. Now, I'm going to be exposing what I call the double cross, the scapegoating. Okay. The so-called exposing of the deep state by Donald Trump and the boys. And we're going to find out that Donald Trump is really a false flagger. He's really a democrat. If you looked at his record, originally he was identified as a democrat, so that's what he is. And in this whole game of him exposing the so-called deep state, this is the group that the Democrats are really are the shadow government, and they're much worse towards humanity than the reptilian deep state. So I'm just going to read from my notes here the characteristics of the deep state, the reptilian, the Atlantean, the aquatic kingdom, which includes the United Kingdom, also called Great Britain, and Spain, which we know sent its representatives over to the Americas, our lands, and did what they did. So in their Hollywood movies, this group is represented by the aliens. Even though they're not alien, they're indigenous to Earth, and their main domain is the aquatic lands. You know, Earth is 70% water, and it's largely uncharted. It's largely unexplored. It's unknown. So they're represented in Hollywood movies as aliens, whereas the Dragon Kingdom, the Fallen Kingdom, is represented as predators. That's what they are. They're predators. Okay. Let's see. They're also the reptilians. They're also known as the pirates, Atlanteans. They are aquatic and subterranean. They don't follow the rule of law as the fallen kingdom, because by law, if you sin, then that gives them legal right to oppress, possess, etc. against you. So they follow the rule of the jungle, because in the Atlantean era, it was like an Eden. It was a lush tropical paradise, like a tropical rainforest. And so forest locations like that operate under the rule of the jungle. So, and also, as George Herbert Walker Bush stated in his 1990 speech about the New World Order, he's also a false flagger, because he's not a Republican or reptilian. He's really a demon, represented by the Democrats, because this is why Ronald Reagan, who was a true Republican or true reptilian, the reptilians are nationalists, and they wanted to get rid of Reagan to put the false flagger George Herbert Walker Bush in his place. So also the reptilians are represented by Esau. Now, many people believe that Esau is a human, but really, if you know and study the Bible, you realize that the story between Israel or Jacob and his brother Esau is really the story about Adam and Eve, and when the Most High talked about there's going to be a battle between the seed of the woman through Adam and the seed of the serpent. So basically, this is what they're really talking about. The two forces against each other from the one mother is the earth and Jacob and Esau. Jacob is represented by the humans, and Esau is represented by the reptilian kingdom, who as the Bible says was created on the fifth day, as well as Adam being created on the sixth day. So that shows you that there's a span, a distance between the creation of the two species. Okay, so they're the scribes and the Pharisees spoken of by Jesus the Messiah, when he told them that they were the seed of them who killed the prophets, and he called them ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. He's telling everybody that they are the genetic seed of the serpent of the reptilian kingdom. Okay, and their domain once again is Antarctica, which is also called Jurassic World, and it is the last Eden on Earth. And it's also called Atlantis. And below Antarctica, or below this world is called Underworld or Wonderland. It's, when they talk about Alice in Wonderland, that's below Antarctica. Okay, and also there's a doorway to the abyss. And we know what the abyss is. And underneath, they have high-speed rail, cities, and tunnels. And I believe this is where Jeffrey Epstein and a lot of these missing celebrities, where they go when they fake their deaths. I believe they go to Underworld, to Wonderland. And this is below Antarctica. Okay. Now, the reptilians are generally classified as Republicans. They're nationalists. They're pro-USA. They're pro-human rights, because the Democrats, they're anti-human rights. So that's a big difference. So this is why the reptilians sent their Navy ship, the Comfort, to take care of all of the sick humans that are being plagued by the Democrats and their coronavirus. We know corona means crown, and the virus, if you actually study what the virus looks like, it looks like the crown of thorns that they placed on the head of the Messiah Jesus during the crucifixion and the murder of the Messiah. So that's what this whole coronavirus thing is really about. Let's see. Okay, they're behind the reptilians are behind the LGBTQ movement. They're also behind the Navy and the SEALs, the Navy SEALs, specifically SEAL Team 6. We know 6, that's 666. And also all of the land units of the U.S. military, the Army and the Marines, but the fallen, the Dragon Kingdom, they rep the United States Air Force. Okay, and also for the reptilians, they control the FBI, whereas the fallen angel kingdom, they rep the CIA. And we know that the reptilian kingdom, as I said earlier, the United Kingdom is identified with the reptilians, and their emblem is the trident, and the trident goes back to Neptune, Poseidon, and this is why the Prince Charles and his firstborn have to join the Neptune Society. Okay, and also we know that Prince Charles is related to Jimmy Savile and that whole sex cult and pedophile network, and also Jeffrey Epstein was connected to Prince Andrew. So there is a deep connection there. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the page of my notes here, and we're gonna talk about some other subjects here. Let's see. Last thing about Jeffrey Epstein, whose main focus was Zionist Israeli state and science. A business associate of his stated that, when talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that he's breaking the oath to himself to never do anything that would expose him in the media. So by exposing himself, he's blowing wide open this whole thing of reptilians and the Democrats, the demons from Hollywood, and what they're doing with the whole human trafficking and all of that through Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, and all the things that they're doing in Hollywood. So also through Project Looking Glass, which is a covert U.S. government, and that's going to be the Democrats, Luciferians. It's an operation led to the creation of a device, which was the Montauk chair. Ben Franklin, it was modeled on Ben Franklin, who was the thinker, who in his own mind conjured up this whole birth of a new nation. There's a statue in Philadelphia of Benjamin Franklin, and this statue of the thinker, that's Ben Franklin. And this device, the Montauk chair, provides access to other dimensions and galaxies. Now, we know that that's space, and space is the demonic realm. It's also called outer darkness. And this makes possible the viewing of potential future events. Now, Nancy Pelosi, who is the head Democrat, said the best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. So that's pretty interesting. And now we know that Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump, who's really a Democrat, are on the same team. Also, study the Philadelphia experiment, Manhattan Project, the Montauk Project. Okay, now you need to know that the demon world doesn't have to possess everybody. They only need the leaders. Okay, and that's president, vice president, your Congress, your Senate, okay, and the 50 U.S. governors. So all of these people are basically, they're bamboozling the masses. This whole thing about the Trump president, who's supposed to be federal sovereign authority versus states' rights, the 50 governors wanting to open up the country again, is all a game. Okay. They're all on the same team and group, but what's happening is the fallen group is they're double crossing, they're sacrificing the deep state so that they can take power and rulership. Okay, this is why Trump says he wants to drain the swamp, because he's a Democrat, and we know what inhabits swamps is crocs or reptilians. So Trump is really shadow government, and he's exposing the deep state, which are the reptilians. And what in this double cross, what it represents is the double crucifixion or sacrifice of both the reptilians and humans on the planet, because those are the only two groups that are indigenous to the planet. Okay, so stay tuned for part 4, where I'm going to be talking about exposing in the book of Matthew how all of this comes together. Until then, shalom. Have a nice day.